A girl wakes up when her cat, Marota, nudges her. She's startled at first, fearing she might have overslept. Checking her phone, she feels a wave of relief upon realizing she's not late for her first day of high school. Himari quickly gets ready and takes the train to school. When she arrives, her excitement grows as she takes in her new surroundings. Her friend Miki greets her and they hug. Miki reveals that they're in the same class, making Himari even happier. Miki also mentions there is a welcome event for new students, including a ceremony happening that day. Miki shares that her sister will be part of the band performing and suggests that she and Himari grab seats at the front. Himari happily agrees. At the ceremony, Yori-Yori, the guitarist and singer of the band, looks very nervous about their upcoming performance. As Himari and Miki stand among the crowd, Himari asks if Miki's sister will be singing. Miki explains that her sister will be playing the bass. The band starts playing, and both girls gasp in surprise. As soon as Yori begins to sing, Himari is captivated by the performance. Himari watches Yori with admiration. When the show ends, Miki waves her hand in front of Himari's face to snap her back to reality and asks what she thinks of her sister's performance. Himari honestly replies that her attention was on the singer and excitedly admits that she fell in love at first sight. Miki is confused. After class, Himari continues to rave about the singer, talking about how amazing she is. She then asks Miki if she wants to walk home together, but Miki says she's gonna check out the wind instrument club. They say their goodbyes. The band members celebrate their successful performance, praising Yori for her singing skills and offering her a spot as a full-fledged member of the band. However, Yori hesitates, saying she isn't good at singing in front of people. When asked why she helped them in the first place, it is revealed that one of the band members bribed her with a limited edition cat pouch. Ma then informs Yori that she can offer her even rarer cat merchandise. Yori says she'll think about it. The band suggests that Yori write a song, and the rest of the girls eagerly agree. Yori nervously admits that she can't write a love song because she's never fallen in love. They advise her to go out and fall in love then. Later, Yori leaves and ponders the topic. She sighs and heads to her locker. A few feet away, Himari stands at her locker, lost in thoughts about the singer and wishing she could meet her again. When she turns and sees Yori nearby, she becomes shy. Himari approaches Yori and bursts into excited screams. Yori, startled, asks how she can help. Himari explains that she saw the welcome show and was amazed by Yori's performance. Yori smiles and thanks her. As Himari continues to compliment Yori's voice, Yori feels shy and downplays her performance. Himari then reveals that she fell in love at first sight. Yori is taken aback by the confession and finds Himari adorable. Himari says she can't wait to hear Yori sing again and hurriedly leaves, thrilled she finally met her. When Yori tells her band members about the incident, they're shocked. One of them asks Yori what she thinks of the confession, making her nervous. She blushes and admits that she finds the girl cute and confesses that she's in love with her, hiding her reddened face with her hands. Kaori advises Yori to consider her response to the confession. Yori asks for advice on what she should say, and the band members offer suggestions that Yori finds embarrassing. The next day, Miki and Himari sit together when Himari shares what happened the previous day. Miki updates Himari with information she gathered from her sister about Yori. She reveals that Yori isn't part of any clubs and wasn't even a member of the band. She only helped out because their guitarist and vocalist quit at the last minute. This news worries Himari, making her fear that she might not get to hear Yori sing again. Miki mentions that the band members invited Yori to join them, but she doesn't know what happened afterward. Hearing this, Himari lays her head on the table and starts to cry. To cheer her up, Miki tells her that Yori likes to sing alone on the roof after school, determined to hear Yori sing again. Himari insists on going and quickly leaves. On the rooftop, Yori contemplates what to do, feeling uncertain since she doesn't have much information about Himari. She wonders if telling Himari that she's in love with her would make Himari smile again. To distract herself, she recalls the band members' request for her to write a love song and starts playing her guitar, trying to come up with an idea. Meanwhile, Himari walks to the rooftop. She opens the door and calls out Yori's name. Yori, surprised, asks how she found out her name. Himari explains that one of her friends looked her up. Yori tells Himari she has been wanting to see her again and confesses that she fell in love at first sight, too. Himari misunderstands this confession, assuming that Yori is referring to falling in love with singing with the band. Yori, realizing that Himari is in love with the band and not her, feels embarrassed about the misunderstanding. Himari smiles warmly and introduces herself. Yori can't help but admire her smile, feeling a flutter of affection. Himari tells Yori that she wants to hear her sing, and after some encouragement, Yori agrees. The next day, Miki and Himari are talking when Yori approaches and greets Himari. Himari gets nervous, but Yori reassures her not to be surprised and explains she just saw her and wanted to say hi. Himari blushes and tells Yori that it makes her happy. Yori suggests they see each other later, and they both blush. Yori then leaves. Miki pats her friend's head and says she's happy for her. Meanwhile, Yori discusses the situation with Aki, explaining she needs to impress Himari. Ma and Kaori offer their support, ready to help Yori when she decides to take Himari out. Yori heads to the rooftop and finds Himari waiting there. Surprised by Himari's early arrival, Yori asks why she's there early. Himari blushes and admits she just wanted to see Yori as soon as possible. Yori blushes in return. They sit together and chat for hours, losing track of time until it gets late. Himari apologizes for getting carried away, but Yori says she enjoys her company. Himari then asks Yori to sing her a song. Yori, though nervous, agrees. She plays her guitar and sings a song, filling the rooftop with her music. Himari expresses her happiness at hearing Yori sing up close and starts showering her with compliments. Yori feels shy and asks her to stop bombarding her with praise. Himari insists she can't help it, saying she loves Yori's singing too much. Yori hides her face with her hand, feeling embarrassed. Himari giggles and asks if Yori will continue playing with the band. Yori explains that she won't, as she doesn't enjoy singing in public, and it was a one-time thing. However, she reveals that the band members asked her to write them a love song. Himari supports her and says she would love to hear something Yori wrote. Yori pats Himari's head and smiles, which makes Himari blush. Yori quickly apologizes and pulls her hand away, but Himari reassures her that she doesn't mind. She just felt a bit shy. Then Himari suggests they walk home together. She excuses herself to grab her backpack, and they agree to meet at the school's entrance. The next day, Himari notices that it's raining. Miki asks her what she plans to do about her after-school plans, given the weather. Himari decides to look for Yori, but doesn't find her in the classroom. Aki spots Himari and greets her, inquiring about her visit. Himari explains that she's looking for Yori. Just then, Yori arrives, and Aki tells her she has a visitor. When Yori and Himari see each other, they both blush. Himari mentions that their after-school plans are ruined by the rain and asks what they should do now. Yori suggests that on rainy days, Himari should come to her classroom instead. Aki teases them, and Himari responds that seeing Yori is the highlight of her day. Yori blushes at the compliment. Aki then reminds them to exchange their contact information. They do exchange contact information, and Himari thanks Yori, saying she'll see her after school. Yori tells Aki that Himari is the girl she mentioned earlier. Aki comments that Himari seems very into Yori, which makes Yori wonder if that's really true. After school, Himari goes to see Yori and sits with her. She compliments Yori on her pencil case, and Yori shares that she loves cat-related items. Himari reveals that she shares this interest and has a cat at home. She shows Yori pictures of her cat, Marota. They spend time discussing their shared interests. Himari asks Yori what she does on her days off. Yori shares that she enjoys reading and singing at home. Himari then asks if Yori has any plans for the upcoming Sunday and tells her about a pop-up store for cat goods near the station. She invites Yori to join her. Yori agrees enthusiastically. Later, at home, Yori reflects on their plans and feels shy and disbelieving that this is actually happening. She wonders if she might be misinterpreting things. Just then, she receives a text from Himari, expressing excitement for their outing. The thought that Himari might be in love with her too makes Yori's face flush red. Overwhelmed, she presses her face into a pillow. After a moment, she replies to Himari's message. As Yori tries to write lyrics for her song, she receives a call from Aki. Initially, Yori is excited, thinking it might be Himari, but she feels a pang of disappointment when she realizes it's not. Aki asks her to go shopping the next day, but Yori declines, mentioning she has a date. Aki is surprised by this response. On Sunday, Yori arrives early at the station and gets a call from Himari, who asks where she is. They spot each other, and Yori is immediately captivated by Himari's beauty. They exchange compliments and begin walking together. When Himari's stomach growls, Yori suggests they grab lunch first. Over lunch, Himari feeds Yori pasta, making Yori blush with shyness. Afterwards, they head to the pop-up store. Amid the bustling crowds, Himari gets momentarily lost, so Yori grabs her hand to keep them together. Himari picks out a set of matching phone straps, which she finds interesting. Yori adds them to the basket and tells Himari she'll buy them as a present. They then decide to visit a kiddie fest, where they enjoy each other's company, take pictures, and visit an instrument shop. Himari keeps admiring a guitar, prompting Yori to tease her. Himari reveals that the guitar reminds her of Yori's performance and expresses a desire to see her play with the band again. This makes Yori reconsider giving it another shot with the band. As the day winds down, they start heading home. On their way, Yori confesses that she really likes Himari. Himari responds by saying she loves Yori too. Yori imagines how happy she would be if they started dating and finds the idea of being Himari's girlfriend incredibly sweet. Before they part ways, Yori grabs Himari's arm, saying she really wants to go out with her again and asks her to think about it. Yori then leaves. While taking a bath, Himari reflects on her feelings for Yori and realizes that Yori's love seems different from her own. This leads her to wonder about the nature of love itself. Himari had always been open about expressing her feelings, and over time she noticed that everyone around her began to experience and understand love in ways that differed from her own perspective. As Himari lies in bed, she thinks about the new kind of love she experienced at the station and remembers Yori's suggestion to go out together. At school, Miki notices that Himari keeps zoning out during their volleyball practice. Concerned, Miki asks what's wrong. Himari apologizes and asks her to repeat what she was saying. Miki cups Himari's cheeks in her hands and asks about what happened on the date. Himari shyly reveals that Yori confessed her feelings. Miki's eyes widen in surprise and she starts to scream. Himari quickly puts her hand over Miki's mouth, asking her to keep it quiet. Miki asks if this means they'll start dating. Himari hesitates and admits that she's not sure yet. They're interrupted by the teacher, who asks them to stop their chit-chat, so Miki and Himari agree to continue their conversation later. In class, Yori stares at her phone, scrolling through her conversations with Himari. She's lost in thought, reflecting on their interactions. After school, Miki and Himari sit together to talk. Himari confesses that she's unsure about what to do and admits she doesn't understand romantic love. Miki tries to help by asking her to imagine what it would be like to kiss and hug Yori, but this question makes Himari nervous. Miki reassures Himari that some people give relationships a try even if they're not completely sure about their feelings. She encourages Himari to consider exploring the relationship with Yori, even if she's still figuring out her own emotions. The band members invite Yori to their upcoming practice, but they notice she seems distracted and preoccupied. When they realize she's not fully engaged, she excuses herself and heads to the rooftop. Upon reaching the rooftop, Yori notices that Himari hasn't texted her, hasn't shown up to their after-school meetings, and hasn't come to the roof as usual. Yori sits down and begins to overthink the situation, feeling a mix of anxiety and uncertainty. Just then, she receives a text from Himari. The message reads that Himari needs more time to think about the offer, but is looking forward to hearing Yori sing again. Yori feels a wave of happiness wash over her at the sight of the text, reassured that Himari is still interested and eager to reconnect. At home, Himari overhears her mother being very affectionate with her father on the phone. Curious, she asks her mom how they first met. Her mother invites her to sit down and recounts that they were good friends in high school. At first, her mom didn't love him and turned down his initial offer to date because she was afraid that a breakup might ruin their friendship. However, after some time, they started dating and eventually fell in love. Hearing this story makes Himari feel that her own situation is relatable. Encouraged by her mother's experience, Himari goes to her room with a newfound resolve. She decides that tomorrow she will be honest with Yori about her true feelings. Yori receives a text from Himari informing her that she will be at the rooftop tomorrow. When Yori arrives at the rooftop, they meet and Himari apologizes for making her wait. Himari opens up about her feelings, explaining that while she loves Yori, it's not in a romantic way, and she struggles to understand what romantic love truly means. She suggests they spend more time together to explore what romantic love is, and if she eventually feels it, they could consider dating. Yori gently places her finger on Himari's mouth, asking if this is a chance being given to her. Himari clarifies that it's not quite like that, and then she starts to cry, expressing her fear of hurting Yori's feelings. Yori wipes her tears and reassures her that everything will be okay. Yori admits that she was scared of being rejected and worried that their relationship might fall apart. She expresses her happiness that Himari is being honest. Himari, moved by Yori's words, hugs her tightly. When she realizes what she's doing, they both blush. They agree to continue seeing each other as usual, and Yori playfully warns Himari that she'll make her fall in love. Later, Yori surprises the band members by asking if she can officially join their crew. During their next meeting, Yori excitedly shares the news with Himari that she will be officially joining the band. Himari's face lights up with excitement, thrilled for Yori. Yori explains that since she will be practicing twice or thrice a week with the band, she won't be able to meet Himari after school on those days. This news upsets Himari, but she remains supportive of Yori's new commitment. Yori suggests they have lunch together on the days she's busy with band practice. Himari agrees, pleased that they can still spend time together despite the change in their routine. Himari asks Yori what changed her mind about joining the band. Yori confesses that she was trying to find ways to make Himari fall in love, and joining the band was one of those ways. Later, Yori heads to the practice studio. As the band starts with their session, everything goes smoothly, and Yori expresses her joy at practicing with them. Kaori, pleased with the performance, gives Yori a hug. The band informs Yori about an upcoming event at the end of the month where they'll be performing solo. Yori is excited about the opportunity. Meanwhile, to fill the time on the days she can't meet Yori, Himari decides to join the cooking club, led by the student Momoka Satomiya. Days later, Yori is in the classroom, lost in her thoughts about how much she wants to spend time with Himari and how much she misses her. She's startled when Himari arrives, breaking her reverie. Himari excitedly shares the news with Yori about her new activities and experiences at the cooking club. Yori listens, feeling a pang of jealousy, especially when Himari mentions spending time alone with Momoka. Despite her feelings, Yori wishes Himari good luck with the club. During her practice later, Kaori notices that Yori seems off and asks Aki to check on her. They both head to a coffee shop where Yori opens up about why she's upset. She confides in them about her jealousy and the discomfort of hearing about Himari's time with someone else. Meanwhile, Himari is enjoying her time at the cooking club where they baked pound cake. Momoka packs some pieces of cake for Himari to take home. Himari visits Miki's house and gives her the cake. Miki is delighted and asks if Himari is sure she doesn't want to give the cake to Yori instead. Himari expresses that she would like to, but is unsure of how to approach Yori, so she thought Miki could taste the cake for her. While Miki steps away to take a call, Aki arrives. Frustrated with Himari's indecision about her feelings and her delay in giving Yori a clear answer, Aki tells Himari that she is romantically in love with Yori and is willing to pursue her if Himari is not ready to commit. Himari is taken aback by Aki's confession. This revelation makes her very upset, and as she walks home, she begins to worry about what might happen if she can't find the kind of romantic love she's been searching for. The thought that Aki and Yori could end up together and what that would mean for her own relationship with Yori deeply troubles her. She realizes that she doesn't want to lose the connection she has with Yori. At the cooking club, Himari seeks advice from Momoka. Momoka suggests that there might already be feelings of love within Himari, even if she isn't fully aware of them yet. Later, at her locker, Himari runs into Yori, who calls out her name. They exchange pleasantries about their day. Himari, feeling a bit more relaxed, suggests that they walk home together. Yori giggles and responds that she was just about to ask the same thing, and they head out together. As Yori and Himari walk together, Himari offers Yori some tarts she tried baking, admitting that she messed up a bit at the cooking club. Yori takes a bite and tells her that while the tarts are a bit salty, she would eat anything Himari makes with pleasure. Yori's jealousy flares up again when Momoka appears to return Himari's phone. Seeing Himari start to run toward Momoka, Yori instinctively holds her arm, feeling a surge of possessiveness. Later, Yori shares her feelings with Himari, expressing her jealousy and insecurity. Himari reassures Yori, explaining that she asked Momoka for advice because she felt like she had been keeping Yori waiting for an answer. Yori, relieved, asks Himari to give her final answer after the light music club concert, hoping that she can make her fall for her by then. At night, Yori finishes writing the song she plans to perform. When she shares it with the band members, they are very impressed with her work. During practice, her phone rings and Aki picks it up. Seeing that the notification is from Himari, Aki teases Yori, who nervously snatches the phone away. She reads a text from Himari, who has baked cookies and is asking when she can give them to Yori. Aki suggests that Himari can bring the cookies to the studio now. Yori agrees. On her way to the studio, Himari runs into Aki. Aki apologizes for her previous behavior, and the two of them walk to the studio together. When they arrive, Himari meets the band members. Kaori finds Himari adorable and is eager to hug her, but Yori glares at Kaori, feeling a surge of jealousy. Aki, noticing the tension, asks Himari if she would go on another date with Yori. Yori, feeling nervous, scolds Aki for her forwardness. Aki clarifies that the date would be to help Yori pick accessories for the upcoming concert. Himari agrees to this idea. Afterward, Himari gives Yori the cookies she baked. Yori tries them. Meanwhile, Momoka receives concert tickets from Shiho, the band's former vocalist. Himari is preparing for her date with Yori, and her mother playfully teases her about this special outing while offering to give her a ride. The two girls head out together to shop for the concert. When Yori sees Himari's outfit, she compliments her. As they browse in a store, Himari picks out a blue dress for Yori. Yori, however, hesitates, worried that she'll look ridiculous in it. Despite her protests, Himari insists she try it on. Yori slips into the dress but feels self-conscious, with her legs exposed. Himari covers her eyes and expresses that she feels as if she is seeing something illicit. After Yori tries on a few outfits, Himari also models several looks. Yori is captivated by her beauty. Eventually, Himari asks Yori to choose an outfit for her to wear to the concert. Later, the two sit together on a bench, savoring ice cream and chatting about the event. Yori expresses her gratitude to Himari for encouraging her to step back into the spotlight. Back at the store, they select accessories and Himari insists on buying a pair of earrings as a gift for Yori. Yori blushes. Afterward, Yori walks Himari home. When they arrive at Himari's house, Yori asks her to close her eyes for a moment. Hesitantly, Himari does so, and Yori gives her a hug, expressing her hope that this won't be their last date. Yori leaves. On the day of the concert, the band members are chatting after their rehearsal. Aki brings up that today is the day Yori will get her answer. Yori asks Aki where this is coming from. Aki, initially about to say more, decides against it and instead reassures Yori that everything will be just fine. Miki and Himari meet up and head to the concert together, their excitement palpable. During the performance, Yori announces that her final song is a new love song she wrote for someone special. Himari's eyes light up with admiration as she listens. Moved by the song, Himari makes her way to the front of the crowd and with heartfelt sincerity tells Yori that she has found romantic love as well. Just then, Aki interjects, reminding them that another band is about to take the stage and suggesting that they find a quieter place to talk. She takes Yori's guitar and tells her she can leave. Yori and Himari find a secluded spot. Himari confesses that Yori's song helped her realize her true feelings and that she is ready to be with her. She wraps Yori in a tight embrace and asks if she'd like to go out with her. Tears well up in Yori's eyes as she accepts. Both girls cry tears of joy. The couple begins to date and enjoys spending more time together. One evening, while on the rooftop, Yori turns to Himari and confesses her love. The unexpected declaration catches Himari off guard, leaving her feeling shy and nervous. After a moment, Himari smiles and admits that she loves Yori too. In a tender gesture, she kisses Yori on the cheek. Later, the band receives some unsettling news from the student council. Due to the high number of applications, they will need to hold auditions before summer break to narrow down the list. Ma reassures everyone, confident that they'll make it through. As the band members leave, they run into Shiho, who informs them that she is now a part of a new band. Shiho confidently declares that her band will definitely make it through the auditions, as they are professionals, unlike the amateurs that she perceives the others to be. As the band is leaving school, they spot Himari waiting for Yori. Aki congratulates Himari on her relationship with Yori and quietly whispers that she will always be Yori's best friend. Himari's face reddens at the comment, but she clings to Yori's arm, ready to head out. As they walk together, they held hands, intertwining their fingers. Himari admits that she's feeling jealous. Yori reassures her, saying there's no reason to be jealous. The next day, Himari meets up with Mamako, who excitedly congratulates her on her new relationship. Overjoyed, Himari gives Mamako a heartfelt hug and thanks her for all her support. Mamako then suggests that the cooking club should participate in the cultural festival in September, to which Himari eagerly agrees. Later, while at the cooking club, Himari is surprised to run into Shiho. Shiho reveals that she's now in a band with Momoko and their mutual friend Hajime Amasawa. Himari is taken aback by this revelation but quickly adjusts to the new information. Afterward, Himari and Yori go to a cafe together. Himari is excited that Yori will be applying for the audition but admits she feels uneasy about others watching her perform. Yori, finding Himari's feelings endearing, reassures her with a warm smile, reminding her that she belongs to her. Later, Aki visits Yori's house after being invited. Once they're settled, Yori asks Aki about what happened between her and Shiho. Aki begins to explain that Shiho had been kicked out of several groups due to her difficult attitude. Despite this, Aki had invited Shiho to form a band with her. However, things took a turn when Shiho suddenly quit the band after a heated argument with Aki about the seriousness of their commitment, claiming she had wanted to leave all along. Aki, her eyes filled with tears, recounts the painful experience. Yori, moved by Aki's story, offers her comfort and support. On the day of the auditions, Yori's band, SS Girls, delivers a well-received performance. However, Shiho's band, Lorelei, takes the stage next and gives a performance that leaves everyone in awe. After the auditions, Shiho approaches Aki directly, her expression serious. She confronts Aki, revealing that she knows about Aki's crush on Yori. Aki shares with her band that they've made it through the auditions, and so has Shiho's band, Lorelei. Kaori admits that Lorelei's performance was impressive, and Aki agrees, speculating that maybe Shiho was held back in SS Girls, preventing her from reaching her full potential. Yori suggests that Shiho's stated reasons for leaving SS Girls might not have been the whole story. Motivated to find out the truth, Aki decides to confront Shiho. During their conversation, Shiho remains steadfast and refuses to divulge her true reasons for leaving. Determined to uncover the truth, Aki proposes a challenge. If SS Girls can secure more votes than Lorelei at the Cultural Fest, Shiho will have to reveal her real reasons for leaving the band. The challenge sets the stage for a competitive and revealing showdown at the festival. Later, Himari brings Yori some of the desserts she baked and, with a warm smile, pats her on the head, wishing her good luck for her audition. The head pat makes Yori blush and feel nervous, but she finds it endearing. Himari explains that she enjoys it when Yori pats her head, so she wanted to return the gesture. Yori confides in Himari about the messy situation her band is currently facing, sharing the stress and complications they're dealing with. While hanging out with Miki, Himari reveals her desire to help mend the rift between the band members and restore their friendships. Miki supports this idea, expressing her own hope to see her sister and Shiho reconnect. Later, after learning about the upcoming showdown from Yori, Himari runs into Shiho working at a cafe. Curious about Shiho's motivations, Himari asks her what inspired her to pursue a career as a professional musician. Long ago, Shiho, who was dedicated to mastering the violin, forged a close friendship with another talented violinist named Kyo. However, after losing to Kyo in a major violin competition, Shiho was consumed by jealousy. Overwhelmed by her feelings, she ended their friendship and eventually found herself unable to play the violin anymore. Despite this setback, Shiho's passion for music remained strong. Determined not to give up, she chose to switch to the guitar, a path Kyo had previously abandoned. Shiho's goal was to surpass Kyo in a different musical arena, driven by her need to prove herself and find redemption in her new instrument. Himari thanks Shiho for sharing her story, saying she feels like she understands her better. Shiho explains that her goal of becoming a professional musician is driven by her desire to move past her old struggles and prove herself. As Shiho heads back to work, she asks Himari to keep their conversation private. Himari agrees and Shiho returns to her job. During the cooking club meeting, Himari suggests that with summer vacation starting next week, they could use their final meeting to hold a taste test for the foods that they plan to prepare for the cultural festival. She thinks that it would be a great way to get feedback on their recipes. Mamoka loves the idea and agrees, seeing it as a perfect opportunity to gather opinions. Himari also asks if Mamoka could invite the other members of Lorelei to the taste test. Mamoka agrees to this. Himari then inquires if she can bring some of her own friends along as well, and Mamoka happily agrees. Himari hopes that by bringing together members of both SS Girls and Lorelei, she might create an opportunity for Aki and Shiho to talk things out and reconcile. At the taste test event, the atmosphere becomes tense, with both bands present. The members of Lorelei and SS Girls ask Himari what the reunion is about. With a deep breath, Himari admits she wants everyone to become friends. Shiho then realizes that Himari is familiar with the SS Girls members, while Ma is surprised to learn that Himari knows the Loreley band members as well. Aki seizes the moment to confront Shiho about why she quit SS Girls. Shiho, however, remains tight-lipped and refuses to be honest. As she turns to leave, Himari asks her to at least try the food before she goes. In the midst of this, Himari trips, causing a tray of food to slip from her hands. As she begins to fall, Yori quickly steps in to catch her. The other band members watch the affectionate moment with a mix of admiration and surprise. Shiho, seeing Yori and Himari together as a couple, is taken aback and then laughs, commenting on how she's tired of things being taken from her. Suddenly, Shiho adds a new condition to her wager with Aki. Himari must become Loreley's manager until the festival. Yori and Aki try to argue that Himari shouldn't be involved, but Himari, determined not to let the wager fall through, agrees to the terms. Shiho then offers to grant Himari one request if she helps Loreley win at the festival. Later, Yori worries about Himari being Loreley's manager. She doesn't like the idea of Himari listening to someone else sing and fears losing her place as Himari's favorite. The day before the summer break, Yori and Himari meet on the rooftop. Yori notices that Himari looks upset and asks what's wrong. Himari says she's excited about the break but is worried about not seeing Yori as much. Yori comforts her, saying they can always meet up. Himari hugs Yori, saying she wants to see her every day. During summer break, as the SS Girls plan a new song for the festival, Loreley decides to take Himari along to talk about how their group was formed. Loreley takes Himari to a cemetery, revealing that Kyo, the violinist Shiho mentioned, was Hajime's older sister, who recently died in a sudden accident. Shiho had felt relieved that she no longer had to compete with Kyo, so she began visiting Kyo's grave regularly to talk about her band life. After Shiho left SS Girls, Momoka, Kyo's girlfriend, reached out to her. Momoka urged Shiho not to give up on music, reminding her how much Kyo loved it. Inspired by Momoka's words and Kyo's passion, Shiho realized she couldn't quit music after all. She decided to form a band with Momoka and Hajime, aiming to become professionals. Later, Yori and Himari meet up at a cafe. Yori gently touches Himari's cheeks, causing Himari to jump in surprise. Yori then tells her that she's been zoning out a lot lately. Himari opens up about what happened at the cemetery with Loreley, sharing the details about Kyo, Shiho, and the formation of the new band. As Himari speaks, Yori starts to wonder if this is the real reason Shiho left her old band. The new information seems to clash with the reasons Shiho gave for leaving SS Girls and doesn't clarify why Shiho had been so hostile towards Yori. Himari begins to wonder what Shiho might still be hiding. During a rehearsal with Loreley, Himari is smiling at a text on her phone when Shiho asks if it's from Yori. Shiho then wonders aloud what everyone sees in Yori. Himari responds that Yori is a lovely person, but Shiho disagrees. Curious and frustrated, Himari asks why Shiho hates Yori, insisting that people don't just start hating each other for no reason. Shiho then tries to change the subject, but Himari is adamant. She tells Shiho that if she doesn't have a valid reason for her feelings, it only makes the situation worse. Himari makes it clear that she doesn't want anyone speaking badly about someone she cares about deeply. Shiho agrees and apologizes for her behavior, admitting that she does have a reason and that Himari needs to know why. She explains that the first person she ever fell in love with was already in love with Yori. Realizing what Shiho is talking about, Himari deduces that Shiho's first love must have been Aki. Himari acknowledges that she knows about Aki's feelings for Yori, which angers Shiho. Overwhelmed with emotion, Shiho starts to cry and quickly leaves the rehearsal. Shiho, feeling a mix of anger and sorrow, becomes determined to put a proper end to things. She resolves to confront her feelings and clear the air.